Over the years, gamers in Africa have had to endure more hardships than their peers in the developed markets. A few challenges come to mind when we looked at this critically. First is access to gaming hardware, talking about gaming consoles, gaming PCs, and their related parts and accessories. Most African countries are just not part of the distribution network for console manufacturers and therefore have to import gaming consoles directly or indirectly from other countries, at more than 2 times the price available to Americans or Europeans. Imagine paying as much as a local currency equivalent of $1,000 to $1,500 for a console available in other markets at $500 to $650. At the peak of the PS5 scarcity in the US, consoles were retailing for over $2,000 in a few African markets where units were available. Many other factors such as high exchange rate and high import duties exacerbate the situation. When you take into consideration the median income for most countries in Africa being lower than $3,000, you begin to see the imbalance in the equation and how Africans may have been systematically excluded from such a thriving gaming industry. Secondly, poor internet infrastructure resulting in low bandwidth. The implication of this is slow internet download speeds, typically at an average of 1.5 to 3.2 megabytes per second as compared to the US and Europe average around 17 megabytes per second. Downloading game titles will simply take an eternity at speeds this low. With most games requiring post-installation updates and DLCs delivered as downloads, most African gamers are unable to access the latest game content and have to resort to pricey game discs that offer just the day one content. These are usually buggy versions of the game. Also, African gamers are cut off from the online gaming communities that add to the value and playability of most of the titles today. Think about Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, GTA Online, FIFA Online and other popular online games. Poor internet speed also means that African gamers cannot be a part of the growing game streaming community, a content creation segment that is creating value for gamers on platforms like Twitch and YouTube. Third point is closely tied to the second. With most of the population on the continent accessing internet via mobile data rather than fixed-line broadband, the cost of internet service required for downloading games or even playing online games is quite out of reach for most people. Average cost of broadband subscription is about $120 as compared to European and Northern American average of $50 and $65 respectively. With data caps in place for most service providers, a single game download of 80 gigabytes will max out most broadband subscription packages without even considering other data needs of the household such as video streaming, online learning, browsing, emails, etc. Another challenge is the frequent power cuts due to load shedding. Most countries on the continent are barely able to generate sufficient power to cater to the needs of the entire population, including businesses and private users. As a result, there is a common practice of scheduled or sporadic power outages. As a gamer, even when you are able to afford good quality internet and playing an online game as part of a team or against peers from other countries, an unscheduled power outage can leave your teammates or opponent hanging when you tend to get disconnected every time. With issues like this, being active on online gaming communities becomes such a hassle for the average African gamer contending with power issues. Lastly is the issue of limited options for buying games. In the developed markets, gamers can purchase physical game discs from stores like GameStop, Best Buy, Amazon, or opt for the more convenient alternative of downloading digital copies directly. Not only are the options for physical game discs very limited on the continent, the pricing of the few available are typically about 2 times the cost in other markets. Also, the distributors often do not enjoy the direct relationship the larger game distributors in the US enjoy, which allows them to pass on seasonal offers and discounts to their customers. In the case of digital game downloads, the challenges of internet speed and cost do not make this an option for most gamers on the continent. Also, the online payment options do not support local payment methods or currencies. Linking back to the issue of internet cost and availability, most gamers would simply not be happy spending as much as $80 purchasing a physical disc only to be prompted to download a 40 gigabytes update, which is an additional $25 in internet data cost. I personally stopped buying physical discs after doing the math. With all the above challenges, you may be tempted to conclude that access to gaming may simply not be the priority for emerging economies. I mean, we have more pressing issues to deal with. I beg to differ. I think the gaming industry offers significant economic opportunities beyond just the entertainment value. Regardless of the barriers, there is a relatively thriving gaming market on the continent that can definitely do better if given more attention by big gaming companies. Do you know of any other big challenges of being a gamer in your country? Whether in Africa or not? Share your comments below. In my next post, I'll share a few personal hacks for overcoming some of these challenges. If you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more, please subscribe to my channel. Let's keep the conversation going.
More coming, Danny!
El movimiento de libertad. Oh, vela, chao, 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 es para todos. Es un gran juego que nuestra isla salvará. Juntos peleamos, todos morimos. Oh, vela, chao, 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 hasta ceniza y volveremos a empezar. Lele, 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 ala. Podrán golpearme, ametrallarme. Vela, chao, vela, chao, nuestra lucha continuará. Y si me muero, lo haré riendo. Oh, vela, chao, chao, chao. Y si mi cuerpo arde en las llamas, serán llamas de libertad. ¡Vámonos! Fuego, ya han incendiado mi país. Ahora en tus ojos hay un tirano. Oh, vela, chao, chao, este tirano. Desde su torre, nuestras cadenas